So at this point, it's assumed that you've managed to get all your trim pieces off without breaking too much stuff. Fortunately, I was able to get most of mine off without breaking anything. Actually, all of it off without breaking anything. So yeah, it's a good day. Other than the weather, it's been raining all day. So that means spray painting is going to go pretty slow, and the drying process is going to have to be carried out indoors after I finish spraying the pieces individually in the garage. Before we get started, I am going to offer one piece of advice regarding the ashtray cover. I was not able to find this online, so I had to just experiment. This is the piece that was on the bottom of the center console. It's held in simply by 4 screws. When you remove it, the entire ashtray assembly comes out complete with cover. You'll find when you close this, there's 2 small indentations, one here and one here. You can actually insert a small screwdriver in these indentations on each side. You turn the screwdriver and you hear a pop on each side. From there you'll be able to get your fingertips underneath this cover and pry it open. The bad part is this plastic piece that's on the bottom of this cover doesn't look to be removable, at least not easily. They have some kind of button rivet holding these on. The other tricky part is actually removing the silver piece that normally rests here, which I found the easiest thing to do was take this piece upside down on a piece of soft cloth. This piece will be in its proper holes. You'll see that the 3 pins will stick through these 3 holes. You find something like an ice pick or maybe a small Torx screwdriver, and you can actually press down in each individual hole to just lightly, and you'll eventually slide this one little trim piece out. Just a small piece of plastic. To put it back in, I would assume that you either just push it in and let friction hold it, or you can hold it down with some kind of epoxy. I'm going to try just pushing it in later after it's painted, letting friction do the work, and if it happens to come out for some reason, I'll epoxy or maybe even super glue it down. Here are the painting and priming and prepping tools we're going to be using here. We're going to start by prepping everything with 180 grit. This is a sandpaper foam pad. These are really nice because you can clean them when they get gunked up. After that, we're going to go over it with some plastic primer, all the trim pieces. I'm going to paint it with the metallic spray paint. This is Rust-Oleum metallic, brilliant metal finish. Wasn't really happy about using something with sparkly metallic glitter in it, but maybe it'll work out okay, I hope. After this cures, we're going to go back over it with some 320 grit to form the machined aluminum or brushed aluminum finish, and hopefully that works out. Then after that, we're going to go back over it with some satin clear coat. And I chose satin specifically because I thought it matched best with the brushed aluminum finish. Gloss is really going to be personal choice. If you want to try gloss, I would stay away from the matte finish unless you like a lot of texture in your finished parts. Okay, so these are the parts now. They've been sanded. They're quite a bit more dull than we started with, which is good. It was a little bit painful to sand these expensive, shiny OEM trim pieces, but hopefully the end result will be worth it. And I don't care for the wood grain much anyway. So, here it is, and we're going to get ready to do some priming, maybe do some pictures of that, and go on from there. So my plans have changed a little bit based on the results I got from the ashtray cover. I did use the sanding block to try to get a brushed look, and I went over it with the clear coat after I brushed it, and it just did not really show through the way I wanted it to. But on the other hand, once it got completely dry, with the satin clear coat, it actually looked a lot like metal. It actually looked a lot more realistic than the metallic spray paint by itself, which really has kind of an unnatural sheen to it. This is the freshly clear coated, this is the main front dash piece, and right here it looks pretty dull because it just got clear coated. But when it dries, it actually looks like real metal. Unfortunately, I don't have a good example right now, but I will later. These are freshly painted with a clear coat too. These are the front side door trim pieces. Over here are the painted but not cleared rear door trim pieces, and you can see they're very metallic, very shiny, kind of unrealistic really for interior trim. When the clear coat dries on these other pieces, it looks a lot more realistic, looks a lot more metal looking. These are also not painted with the clear coat yet. So the paint came out well, but I'm not convinced using the sanding blocks for the brush look, and I just wasn't really satisfied with it. So really with the results I'm getting with the satin clear coat, I'm pretty happy about. I think I'm just going to continue with that since I've come this far, and then I'll have results very soon. Okay, so here's the finished parts. Overall, I'm pretty pleased with the way everything turned out. The satin finish clear coat really made everything look aluminum, and even if they don't look brushed, they still look pretty good to me. I think anybody looking in the car for the first time will probably think they're aluminum. Unless they look a little closer, they'll find out that it's not brushed. Everything went back together pretty well. You can see the black vents, shift boot, little console pocket there. It's all clipped back in. It's all ready to go back in the car, and I'll take some pictures, and we'll see what the overall look has for us.